Welcome to Central Georgia Focus and Happy New Year to you. I'm Frederick Price. With the new year often comes plans to make New Year resolutions. I know a lot of you have probably already done this. According to the Pew Research Center, 3 in 10 Americans report making at least one resolution at the top of the year. Almost 80% say their resolution concerns health and wellness. This is followed by a sizable group sharing goals surrounding finances, relationships, and personal interests. So today we want to work out our goal setting plans for the new year by exercising our goal making muscles with a little help from today's guest. Today we are joined by certified personal trainer Will Butler of Will to Win Fitness. We're going to talk about meeting your new year goals head on with both mentally and physically having a plan. It's so good to see you, Will.
Same here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. So you've been doing this a decade, more than a decade now that you were telling me. Kind of tell me about yourself and how you got involved with this kind of work.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm Will Butler, of course, of Will to Win Fitness. I've been doing personal training since 2014. I actually got into fitness because I wanted to improve my health, overall health, and work on some goals that I had. During the time, I wanted to actually participate in a bodybuilding championship, as well as attain my black belt. And so I achieved both during the year of 2014. And then the next year in 2015, I actually became a certified, well, actually the end of 2014, I became a certified personal trainer and started Will to Win Fitness.
So I imagine, I mean, it clearly takes a lot of tenacity to do this, but kind of take me through that process of obtaining your black belt and everything.
Wow, it takes years of discipline, dedication, and practice, working on flexibility, and you can imagine actually building muscle and still trying to remain flexible. So that was interesting to say the least, but I was able to, do that and still just have fun with it. So I love what I do, both training and martial arts, fitness training, and helping people attain their goals. It's always a joy to see the excitement on their face when they say, I did it, or, I can wear this. I can wear this outfit that's been in my closet for 2 years. And so it's been such a pleasure. I never intended to actually become a personal trainer for others, but it just kind of morphed into that.
Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles,
yes,
right?
Yes.
For a lot of people, they want to be able to say the words, I did it, let's say in June of this year. But it first starts with a game plan.
Right.
You obviously have, had an influx of people saying, 2025 is my year. I want to lose weight. I want to live a healthier lifestyle. What's the first piece of advice that you have for those people to start?
The first piece of advice is to start small. I like to use SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented. A lot of people typically bite off more than they can chew. So they have these big goals and they either experience burnout half the way through. Most people start in January, and by February or March, the goal is crumbled to the ground, and they've already given up. So I like to try to take baby steps with my clients or someone who's starting out on their own, to tell them to either hire a professional, whether they need a personal trainer to guide them through, or a nutritionist. If not me, there are several different plans that you can work through. If they think that they can do it on their own and they just need a guideline, then I can provide them with guidelines. Or if they need a personal trainer to actually physically be with them to guide them through every step, then we can certainly do that as well.
The mind serves a big purpose here.
It does.
Talk about the importance of having that right mindset, a realistic mindset when you're approaching personal training.
Sure. So I always tell people, if you get your mind right, I can get your body tight.
Okay.
And that's half the battle there. It's just staying consistent, realizing, stay in your lane. Don't look at other people and what they're doing and, how fast they're progressing. Your journey is your journey. Some people typically, want to focus on weight loss alone. I try to get them to actually see the big picture holistically of overall health and wellness. Once you focus on the overall health and wellness of feeling better, not being so focused on the skill. Looking at, how are my clothes fitting? How am I feeling? How am I performing at work? Am I able to walk these flight of steps unwinded, where in the past I had before? Then you're making some type of progress. And so I try to keep them consistent, but we celebrate the small wins along the way.
Well, how do you keep people from veering off into a negative or pessimistic space? Because you want progress almost immediately. That's obviously not realistic. People want a smaller dress size or a smaller pant size, but that can sometimes lead to people just losing faith completely. How do you keep people from getting into that space and keeping a positive space while also being realistic at the same time?
Sure. Well, I have a background in psychology. So first, I try to initially, when I do an assessment, really set the standards there, and just prepare them of what's about to happen, that you're going to have some setbacks, and that's okay. You're going to have some wins, and that's to be celebrated as well. But really just to keep them motivated to say, hey, you're doing something. Your body is made to move, and doing something is better than doing nothing. We try to get them to look at their eating habits along with that, because you just can't have total health without having the proper nutrition.
Right.
And so we combine those in smaller steps. Virtually, I don't say, hey, cut out all your carbs, cut out all your sugars all at once.
It's hard to go cold
because I'm setting that person up for failure, because they're going to go into a craving mode where they're just going to pig out. So, we try to do it in small steps and increments.
And what can people do to keep themselves motivated too?
To keep themselves motivated, they can either find a partner, either hire a personal trainer that's going to hold your hand and step it away and be your biggest cheerleader to cheer you on. Get your family involved and just keep going. Look at, you've got to really look at those small wins and say, hey, I'm an inch closer to fitting into this dress for the summer or these pants for the summer, and take that and keep going as momentum.
I mean, clearly you've been doing this for more than a decade, the resident expert you are, but do you find it difficult for people that, want to cut out the carbs and things like that, but can't necessarily do it, cold turkey? Is it difficult for those people to adjust to that change?
Initially, it is difficult, but I try to do it just in increments and baby steps to say, hey, if you're drinking 3 sodas a day, let's try to cut it down to maybe 2.5, and then maybe to 1 or 2. So you've got to do it in stages.
Yeah.
And before you know it, that person is going, hey, I just like water now. I've had people who've had some really difficult dietary requirements. And to be able to work around it, I was thinking, gosh, this is tough. But we actually made it around it, and they were able to make those lifestyle changes.
Good. Baby steps. Baby steps matter.
Baby steps.
We're going to continue our conversation in just a moment. After we return from a break, we're going to give you some specific tips to help you meet those health goals of 2025. We're back in just a moment. Welcome back to Central Georgia Focus. We are continuing our conversation with certified personal trainer Will Butler of Will to Win Fitness. Again, thank you so much for being here with us. Personal Trainer of the Year. It was something that you weren't necessarily expecting, but it's an honor that you got. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. I just started my personal training business, and the very next year, a friend called me up and said, hey, will you vote for me in the best of the best? And I said, well, sure. She's a chiropractor. And she said, and I'll vote for you. And I said, well, what do you mean you'll vote for me? And she says, you're nominated for, best personal trainer of the year. It's like, wow. So, I wasn't even aware that, the Middle Georgia Macon Telegraph Best of the Best, that I was actually being nominated for Best Personal Trainer. I was just so focused on helping people and having fun at the same time and enjoying it that, I was nominated.
So, tell me a little bit more about that, because I imagine to get that kind of award, means that you have a lot of dedication and a lot of love for what you do and helping others too.
Sure, and that means that someone or a group of people nominated me and thought that I had a passion for what I did, and I did it well, and so I was just proud to be a part of the group of other personal trainers, because there's so many other great personal trainers here in the Macon and Middle Georgia area, and so I was just proud to be amongst that group and to do what I do.
And you are very, very passionate. You help so many people every year.
Yes.
And I'm sure you have some memorable stories too. Tell me a little bit about that. What are some stories that you can think of?
So actually, one story that was aired, I believe Marvin James did a feature story on it. It was Monique Dancy. She actually donated her kidney to one of her friends. She was a perfect match, but she needed to lose some weight and had some health issues that were going on. And so I got the phone call back in 2020 to actually provide some assistance to her. And we worked out. I worked her out, Planet Fitness, at the park, at the Riverwalk, wherever. Wherever you are, I'm there. And we got the weight down, and she was able to successfully donate her kidney. And so that created a lifelong bond and friendships between the three of us, her and Sylvia and myself. And it's been amazing. And Sylvia has had no problems with the transplant. To date.
Well,
so
happy that everybody is successful and healthy these days. But I mean, it's more than just being, physical. There are a lot of long-term effects and long-term strategies that people should consider. Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Well, shortly afterwards, Marvin was so inspired that he came aboard with me, and I was actually able to, work alongside Marv and help him with his weight loss goals as well. And he lost over 100 pounds during his time with me as well. And we were at the McConnell Talbot Stadium, we were outside, we were on the field, we were in the gym, and he actually put in the work. And so I was very proud of that, to assist him with his needs and goals as well too.
I mean, I obviously was not here during that time, but I have seen a lot of the footage from when Marv was on his fitness journey.
Yes.
Quite inspiring, to say the least. I mean, Marv was pretty dedicated. Thanks to you too.
Yes, he's a very dedicated person. Initially we were having some issues. And then I found the spark, his love of football. And so I brought a football into training, and his eyes just lit up. And from that point, it was all downhill.
So, you think about the physicalness, if you will, of this. I mean, obviously, you have to be physical, you have to be working out. But if you don't have a good meal plan, or you're not eating as well, it seems kind of counterintuitive. Talk about the importance of also having a good meal plan too.
Sure. Nutrition is key because it rebuilds, it helps, the nutrients, whether it's, the protein, the macronutrients, all that plays a role into your overall health and wellness. A lot of people don't take it seriously because you can't necessarily see it in the beginning, but you can see it in your body changes as that support how you feel when you're working out in the recovery process. So nutrition and eating is, it's 80% nutrition, about 20% exercise and fitness. Wow. And I always tell my clients, if you eat better, then I won't have to work you out as hard.
Yeah, I didn't realize that nutrition played such a key role in it too.
Nutrition is very, very key.
I mean, where do people start? I mean, you want to trade in the Burger King burgers and, Big Macs respectively at McDonald's, but if someone is trying to start a meal plan and they don't know what to do, what would be your advice to you in terms of specific food items?
In my experience, I found that reducing portion sizes, your portions, and just controlling that. Not eating to a point of gluttony. If you're clearing your plate or going to a smaller size plate, maybe like a little holiday plate, saucer or something, versus a regular size plate, because we all have that voice inside our heads where our parents are telling us, you better clean your plate, because there are people over in Africa or a third world country or somewhere that are starving. So, and then in the South, we celebrate everything with food. Yes. Food is such a staple of our lives. Baby showers, deaths, funerals, divorces, marriage. There's always food that surrounds us, holiday parties, and there's food. And so it's not necessarily the food, but it's how you view the food and how you choose your foods.
And as you alluded to, those portion size, very important.
Yes.
Something else that's interesting, stress plays a big role in a lot of people's fitness journey too. It can be detrimental. Talk to us about that.
So, I have a lot of clients that come in and they're stressed out about losing weight. And so I try to take the scale away because the scale can give some unrealistic results there. And when you're trading off fat for muscle, sometimes the scale doesn't always reflect that, because 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle is 5 pounds, right? And so the scale doesn't acknowledge that, but it's how you're looking different and how you're feeling different. And some clients, when they're going through that process, they never take time to look in the mirror and see the transformative changes. And so I like to take pictures along the way to show their progress, to say, hey, do you know that you're progressing? They're going like, because they're so busy trying to work out or trying to achieve this certain weight or this certain goal that they never stop, in between to celebrate those successes and those transformative changes. And so, we look at that, we celebrate that, and you just have to acknowledge it.
Why is it so important to reflect? Because I've heard some personal trainers say, don't look at the mirror, like you're just gonna confuse yourself and you're not gonna, you may not get the results that you want. But why is it important for you to reflect and have those people look back?
It's always, for me, an indicator of how you're progressing, where you started and where you are. And not always looking back, but sometimes you have to take little glances to keep you motivated. I was here, but now I'm here. And those are things that are, so important to progress. It's how you know that you're making progress. Sometimes you have to visually look at it, but then we also look on the paper and look at the measurements and the inches and the scales as I'm doing monthly assessments or maybe bi-monthly assessment. It just depends on what your stress level is to see that progress along the way.
That imagery can make a big difference.
It does.
We're going to continue our conversation before we go to break. Here is a New Year fact according to History.com. Did you know, I know I didn't, the ancient Babylonians are said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions some 4,000 years ago, which these recorded celebrations included promises to pay their debts and return any objects they borrowed. These promises could be considered the forerunners of our New Year's resolutions. Fast forward to today, traditions like watch night church services to celebrated ball drops and looking to and making resolutions for the new year continue. We're back in just a moment. The more you know. Welcome back. We have Will Butler here continuing our conversation on a fitness journey. A lot of you will have that in the new year. We talked about meal prepping, Will. We talked about, making sure that you're prepared. But what about rest and sleep? A lot of people just always leave that out for whatever reason. They feel I should be in the gym for 10 hours a day and they don't consider going to sleep at night.
They are both so critically important, rest and sleep. It's how your body recovers. Sleep is just so critical. Results are in studies are showing in overall weight loss, helping with that. So getting the proper 6 to 8 hours sleep can actually help your body reset and actually help along with your weight loss goals as well.
This is a really, really random question, but I know a lot of times whenever I'm working out, post-workout, I'll come home and I'll take a cold shower because someone that was probably old back in my childhood said, after you finish working out, you should get in the cold shower. Is that true or false? You know the answer to that?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it just depends on the person.
Okay.
There's a lot of myth that goes around in the health industry as well, whether you drink cold water or you drink, room temperature
Right.
water. So I don't necessarily dive into that. As long as you're drinking water, as long as you're, taking a shower, whether it's hot water or whether it's cold water that relaxes you, it just depends.
Personal preference. Makes sense. Thank you for
Yes.
answering that. So tell us a little bit more about your fitness program, too. Everything that people should consider and know.
So my fitness program is really comprehensive. I like to focus holistically on the whole body, the mind, the body, emotional as well, and how you're feeling overall. I tell people that, once you get your mind ready, then I'll get your body ready as well. And so it all starts in the mind. We initially take clients through an initial assessment where I have client-centered goals, so they actually get to participate. It's not just me sitting going, telling you, you need to do this, you need to do that. I want to know what are your specific goals, because fitness and health looks different for every person. And so we focus on those goals to see, number one, it's my job to tell you whether those goals are realistic and whether or not I can help you get to those goals and those timelines and provide a roadmap, if you will, of how we're going to achieve that.
Okay, and that holistic approach certainly can make a difference for a lot of people. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you, too? We have some information on our screen right now. There we go. There's your number, and there's your email. But if you can go ahead and recite it and let people know how they can get in contact with you.
Sure, you can contact me at 404-273-2861, or you can go to the website at www.will2winfitness.com, and that's the number 2, winfitness.com.
I see what you did there. All right, so again, there's that information for you right there. So has there ever been an instance where someone has brought you a goal and they were already down, already negative about it, and said, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, and then in the end they realized the results were surprising. They were able to do it.
Sure. So I had a young lady, she was a mother, just had a child, and she was getting back into fitness. Amber Foster is her name, and she started working out with me, and she wanted to actually do a competition. Didn't think that, she could really do it, didn't know much about it, and because I competed before, solicited my help in trying to see if she would be a candidate for that. And so we actually went through working out, and we got her to compete, and she actually won.
Wow.
And now she's a pro, and now she's doing personal training on her own as well.
How
so
about that?
those are, some things of mentoring people and allowing them, I'll see her out training some of her clients, and I'm training some of my clients, but it's always good to see people, that you've inspired in health, and they're doing the same thing as well.
You are inspiring a lot of people, including myself. I'm going to have to get a personal trainer in this new year.
Sure, I'll hold you to that.
Hold me accountable.
Yes.
Is there any final thoughts, perhaps? So we got about 15 seconds left of having just a positive outlook overall.
Sure. You can do it, whatever you set your mind to. Know that you can do it. There are experts, and there are people like myself that can help you when you are considering your overall health and fitness. Invest in yourself, invest the time, hire a professional. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I have to get recertified every 2 years to make sure that we stay up on our the most recent practices and things that are going on. So contact us, and we look forward to seeing your new bodies in the new year.
Thank you, Will. Thank you for watching us. We're back next time. Have a good one, everybody. Happy New Year again.